Family, it's Brandy with I.B.B.J. Israel Bringing Back Jacob Ministries. We're coming to you with another video from Africa regarding housing, electricity, and water. First, we'd like to give all praise to our Heavenly Father for another day. We'd like to thank Him for you all, for your support, your questions, and your donations. Keep your questions coming. It helps us with the videos to know what you guys want to know. And eventually we'll be able to show you what you want to see once we get our audio equipment together. But for now, we're going to go into housing. We live in an apartment, and we found the apartment on the internet. When we were in the hotels, we knew we couldn't continue to stay in hotels paying daily. So we got on, Lamont actually got on the internet, found a website, a local site, and found a realtor. He met us at the hotel, and we kind of, went around looking for places, but it was very easy for us to find an apartment because of the way the contract or the lease agreements go. When you sign a lease here, the minimum, which is rare, is 1 year, and that's what we got. It's very rare, I heard, but you have to pay for the entire contract at the time you sign the lease. So our 1 year lease, we had to pay 1 year's worth of rent at that time. 2 year, you have to pay that whole 2 years when you first sign the lease, 5 years, etc. 2 years and 5 years is a little more common from what we've heard. So the reason we live in the apartment area where we live, which we're in the capital, we're in Accra, Ghana, West Africa. We're in this particular area in apartment because of that. We didn't want to pay to be somewhere 2, 3 years because remember, we'd never been here before. So we didn't know what the area would be like, things like that. So we wanted the shortest commitment as possible. So that's why we did the 1 year. So that's how we found our place through a realtor. The same way you kind of do it back home. You get on the internet, find someone, call, and go from there. Okay, water. Now, water is a little more interesting because we didn't know in our research the water issue never came up. We knew about the lease portion that you have to. They don't do month to month here for a place where you're going to want to stay. Let me put it like that. Somewhere you want to stay, you're not going to be able to pay month to month because as anywhere else you have, no disrespect, you have low class, impoverished, you have your middle class, and then you have your upper class, your bougie, whatever you want to call it. Nice, very nice furnished apartments, all of that. So it depends on you and your income. But when it comes to the water, we didn't know. The water in our place, it's just like it is in America. You turn your faucet on in the kitchen, you turn your shower on. Well, I would say is the one difference is it's not really hot water per se. Like they don't have the tanks to heat water here. Now, if it's hot outside, your water gonna be pretty warm because the pipes and everything's hot. But outside of that, everything's the same. You want to jump in the shower, you just lift the nozzle or turn the faucet and flush the toilet. But you have other living situations that, which is why our realtor advised this apartment for us. But you have other living situations where they have something called a poly tank, and a company comes and fills that for you. Excuse me. And then that's how you get your water. The tanks are usually in your front yard or your backyard, and people take buckets and they go turn the nozzle, fill the bucket up, and then you go in your house and you make your dishwater, you flush your toilet, you bathe like that. It's all depending on the setup for where you're living. And then also some people just have a straight borehole, which is, in the area somewhere, maybe a block or two away, where they take the bucket there and go get the water that way. If you go through Lamont or Old Guy Chappelle's Facebook or Old Guy's YouTube channel, you can see some of the pictures and the videos from when we went to the village and people's water setup was like that. So that's something that you need to know if you're thinking of moving abroad. Lastly is electricity. It goes out all the time. So we knew this also. You need to have your headlamps, your lanterns, your flashlights. We have those things. We fare pretty well. It can get pretty hot with no electricity. Our apartment's generator is broke, or as they would say, spoiled. So we don't have a generator. The power goes out You know, it's so random, I couldn't even tell you. When we first got here, it went out all the time, all the time. But lately, it hasn't been so bad, but it does go out. Sometimes it goes out for 5 minutes, 4 hours. You have days where the power we've counted, where it went off and came back on in a matter of minutes for like 7 or 8 times in a day. It's crazy how the power is, but that's just what it is. You don't pay monthly for power. You pay as you go for your electricity. For example, you get a little card, like a credit card, and you load money on it. And when you say you put $100, which their money is not dollars, but it's called Ghana cedis. But let's say you put 100 on there. Once you utilize 100, whatever dollar, 100 cedis worth, or however you measure electricity, then you get a little alarm, and then you go to the electric company and you add more money. So that's how the electricity goes here. It's something you need to know because it can be uncomfortable, transitioning from America where that's not really an issue for us. So those are three very important things that we wanted to discuss with you all today. Again, we want to thank you for your support, your questions, comments. We are very happy to provide you guys with these videos. And as always, shalom.